Welcome back, guys, to another module. Today, we will be talking about how there is no such thing as a perfect moment or perfect situation, outcome, because when you understand this, it's so crucial for navigating life and just the complexity that life brings, and then the ultimate fulfillment you'll get, because we tend to fix on this perfect moment when in reality, no matter how good it seems, it's never perfect. And once you're able to understand this, it really brings true fulfillment, I feel like. And so, yeah, it's very important in your fitness journey because we all have a perfect dream outcome, whether it's our physiques, training, nutrition, lifestyle. And once you understand it'll never be like that, I think it's easier to cope and you'll be more, just have more gratitude and more fulfillment with yourself. So, pursuit of perfection, we often envision perfect outcomes, but reality rarely aligns with our expectations. I've seen this in my day-to-day life several times, non-fitness wise, and then related to fitness as well, whether it's with my business, content creation, my personal relationships, because our head, we don't consider the errors and the minute details that will come about that will affect certain outcomes. We just focus on the good, and life doesn't just have good, it has ups and downs, and so all these little minute details affect that outcome, and so it's always going to be different. And that's why it's more of like a perception of what your dream reality is, and it's not a reality. And so constant striving, the pursuing of perfection can lead to dissatisfaction. As we constantly strive for an unattainable standard, then our feeling, our fulfillment, our happiness, our satisfaction gets lower and lower because we're getting farther and farther away from that standard that we want for ourselves. And then, because you're so focused on how it could be, you're not focused on the present, and that makes you miss opportunities. Because you're focusing solely on perfection, and that prevents you from embracing the beauty of imperfection and appreciating what you have, and really trying to figure out what you can do with what you have. Because the reality is, life isn't fair, and what someone else may have, you're not going to have, and you have to do the best with what you have. You have to make the most of it, because it's an internal problem. If you're not satisfied, fulfilled with where you are, you'll never be fulfilled. Even if someone else has exactly what you want, that's unfortunate. I'm sorry to hear that, but there's nothing you can do about it except yourself being fulfilled and okay with what you have. Misconceptions about perfection. Perfection is static. Perfection is not a fixed state, but a dynamic process. It evolves with time and experiences. So we have that set reality, that set image in our mind, but it's a one-time thing. But that's not reality. That's just a dream. That's just what we think it should be like. That's how we want it to be like. But it's always changing. Even if you reach that perfect moment, let's just say, for this conversation, it would change. So you may get that moment, that idea, that circumstance for a short amount of time, and it's going to change. So then what, So it just goes to show you perfection is unachievable. The pursuit of perfection is not a journey, not a destination. It involves constant learning, growth, and adaptation, and that means pursuing those failures, or embracing those failures, pursuing difficult situations for growth. And that's where I feel like the fulfillment is. Not easy to embrace, but it's also needed at the same time. And it's not essential. Embracing perfection allows us to focus on progress and appreciate the value of our unique journey. And if you're able to understand this and cope with this and push into this, that's where I really feel like you'll see a lot of progress and start to really become just satisfied with your journey and with your personal progress. The importance of adaptation. This is very important because change is inevitable. Life is constantly changing, and adapting to new circumstances is essential for growth and well-being. You're always going to change, and I talked about it on a previous module. We don't like change because it's new and it's nothing we've experienced. But if you truly want to reach that goal that you've envisioned, it's needed because you're not qualified to be where you want to be. Let's say I want to have a six-pack abs and be muscular and feel good, right? But I'm 25% body fat, 225 pounds, not lean, not muscular. Why do I expect to have that six-pack when I've done nothing to deserve it? I haven't done any of the work that it requires to get there. And that's why you need a change. You have to change to get there. And I'm telling you, if you got it that day, you just got that six-pack, you would not be fulfilled. You would not be satisfied because you did nothing to earn it. Flexibility is key. Being adaptable allows us to navigate challenges, seize opportunities, and maintain a sense of balance. Like we talked before, nothing will go exactly how you want it to be, but if you're able to adapt, you're able to accept that reality, that's where you'll actually see that progress, is in those flexible times, in those challenges, in those opportunities, taking advantage of that and being ready for that moment. And then continuous learning. Embracing challenge requires an open mind, willingness to learn, and spirit of curiosity. So, if I was your coach and I'm telling you how to, train, what to do for nutrition, and if you're just selfish, you're like, I know how to do it, and you're not there yet, and you're just closed mind, you have a fixed mind on what you think it should be like, you're never going to be as, let's say, talented, be as skilled, knowledgeable as you could because you have a fixed mindset. You're not learning. You're not open-minded. Embracing perfection. So there's a few things that it requires. Self-acceptance, for one. Embrace your flaws and imperfections as part of your unique and valuable identity because you have certain aspects of your fitness life, because this is fitness, that you struggle with that, or maybe flaws or just imperfections, but that's going to be part of your story. That's part of your journey. You'd be like, I struggled with this, but I overcame it and became this. If you were just good at everything and it didn't take you much to get there, it's like, okay, like I was just naturally gifted, whatever it may be, but instead you overcame that obstacle, and that's a lot more rewarding in my opinion. Authenticity. Authenticity is about embracing who you are, flaws and all. It fosters genuine connections and promotes self-love. So just being authentic, being like, this is who I am. This is what I struggle with. This is where I want to be. I'm okay that I'm not where I want to be, but this is myself. Nothing you can do about it. And a lot of times we like to step into this false identity that we're not, just because we feel insecure about who we are. But that's just going to make you feel, maybe not in the moment, but over a period of time, it's going to make you feel more false, feel more out of line with yourself because you're being unauthentic. And then resiliency. Embracing perfections builds resiliency by encouraging us to learn from mistakes and persevere. This is really required, especially in a transformation. Like I tell my clients, and you guys have probably heard, it takes time. It's going to take time. It's not easy. Like your fitness transformation, I don't care what you see with these fitness gurus who be like, oh, you can get a six-pack abs in a couple months and do this, that. Like, maybe 1 out of a million, Like I would say I had really good genetics. Like I didn't change in 1 year, but I gained a lot of progress. And most people can't do that. So speaking from someone who had those like alien-like genetics, being that top tier, that 1%, like that's not common. And I'm telling you, like I feel more fulfilled when I have to work for it. And not saying I didn't, I did it. I definitely did. Because there's certain aspects I had to work for. But in my life, when I've had to actually put in the work for it, it's a lot more fulfilling. And I'm telling you guys, for those who don't have those lucky lottery genetics, it's worth it. It's worth it because it builds that discipline. It builds character in the process. Starting with what you have. I think this is the most important thing to take away. Because we always wait, again, this is what it's about. We always wait for that moment, but it never comes. It's a false perception, And so you never change, you never get anything done because you're waiting for a moment that's never going to happen. So you have to embrace what you have, even if it feels uncomfortable, and work with what you have, and that alone will spark the change, and you'll develop by taking action. Present moment, focus on what you have right now and use your current resources to create positive change. Even if it's not ideal, it can always change. Action over perfection. Don't wait for the perfect time or resources. Take action with what you have and learn as you go. Progress over perfection. Again, that perfect moment doesn't exist, won't happen. Embrace the journey of growth and celebrate your progress, even if it's not perfect. Okay, I want you guys to remember that, to sit on that, and that's what you should take away from all of this. So, flexibility and growth mindset. Be openness to change. Be willing to adapt your plans and approach as needed. Flexibility is key to navigating the unexpected. Continuous learning. Cultivate a growth mindset that embraces challenges as opportunities for learning and growth, because it'll happen. It happens with me. It'll happen with you. And then compassion. Just accepting yourself and acknowledging the mistakes are part of the learning process. Confusion. Finding fulfillment in imperfection. I think this is very, very important, because you're never going to be perfect. You're never going to have that perfect situation. So being fulfilled in the midst of that, in the present, is what you'll need to ultimately have that fulfillment. And that is today's module. Hope you guys took something away from it. I think it's super important just for the mind, and to grow in general. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.